So I'm looking to go try out and fly the Drake that I rented, the Drake Caterpillar. This is Reality Enigma. And I'm just doing some, random gameplay footage recording here. Nothing special. Just taking a look around. It's actually very beautiful at night. Look at the stars. And the city and all the ash coming down. Quite beautiful. So I'm gonna go out and see if I can't get my Drake Caterpillar that I rented to spawn on the pad, considering that it'll be gone tomorrow morning, and I will have to sadly go to work and I won't have the opportunity to fly it, because I'm very much so, I'm not sure, that's not grammatically correct, but oh well, thinking about getting one. Because for the price, I think it's an absolutely fantastic value for what it is. I do want to point out that all of these ships will be obtainable in game. So when I say the price, I'm really talking about the donation amount for flying the ship right now. It's one of those things, and I know it's a sticking point in the community, but when you pay this money and they give you access to this ship, what you're really doing is donating to the Star Citizen funding campaign to help them continue working on the game. I know a lot of people will.
Transfers to the perimeter, spaceport, and industry lines.
This PA system is very talkative, but a lot of people will think, well, they've got over $200 million. Clearly, they've got enough money to finish this game. And the truth of the matter is when you're funding over 500 employees, it's pretty expensive to operate a company that way. I did the numbers once before, but they're spending probably, at least couple million dollars a month on just, employee funding, etc. So it's not like they're just clearing this massive, free profit every time you put money in. That being said, it's up to anyone who wants to actually to donate. I totally get it. $45 you get in, and that should be enough. And you can get in and play the game. And as of right now, in 336 rather, you can rent ships. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I backtracked. You can buy ships. Now it's only for the duration of that particular patch or when they do another server reset. So you don't get to keep them right now because the PU isn't persistent yet, and it probably won't be until at the earliest quarter 4 2019. But we can see that they're working on actually getting it to a point where you can get these ships in game. Again, when you buy a ship, you're donating, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I do get access to the ship, and I'll get access to use it. So
make sure you have collected all property.
Going down here to kind of take a look at this Drake now, and I might ramble a little. That's because this is really just impromptu. I really don't have a purpose other than taking a look at the Drake. So let's pop in here. Where is it? Can I still don't have access to my Anvil arrow, even though I purchased it. I'm a little bit miffed about that. But I have my 85X. There it is. Alright, so let's go. Where's that? I just passed it. So there's the Caterpillar. Let's go ahead and retrieve it. Let's go take a look at it. Let's actually fly it out of here.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
So Hangar 4, we're off. Go down here and get in this behemoth and attempt to get it into outer space rather than inner space, right? Um, I've heard that getting these larger ships out is quite difficult. The largest ship that I personally own at the moment is my Constellation Aquila in Phoenix, and it took, I want to say man, it took probably a good 5 to 10 minutes, probably 5. I don't know. It's hard to tell if you're not counting, but it took a while to get out of the atmosphere, and I generally consider out of the atmosphere at the 100,000. I think they're calling it meters, which would make sense. I could be wrong with that, but I think that's what the number means. It's not in feet. Everything's in meters. So I'm assuming this one's going to take a bit longer. We'll find out. And I've also been reading that there's apparently some interesting methods of angling your ship so that you get a more efficient takeoff. So we'll see how that turns out. There she is, large and in charge. Are you gonna actually touch down? There we go. Okay. The reason I stood there for a moment to make sure is earlier I spawned this into my hangar and I couldn't get in the ship because the actual ship itself spawned quite high. Let's get out of the way here. So this was like right here instead of down here. When I say right here, in the middle of the screen, about right here. So, needless to say, I couldn't actually explore the ship in my hangar, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. So, I'm gonna go this way. Go up the ladder, or the stairs rather. Ah, that bug is definitely on the ship. Thought it might only be inside of the expo hall, but apparently not. Alright. Let's have a seat here. Let's get this baby fired up. Alright, flight ready?
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft. Your systems are online.
Right, so let's...
You are cleared for liftoff.
Alright, the bays are opening.
Front impact warning. Launch complete.
Let's hope that these doors can hurry up and open. Right. Notice how we almost dropped back down.
Rear impact warning.
Not sure what this looks like right now. Oh, we should be good. Alright. Right, so let's oh, that's a beautiful ship. She really is quite beautiful. Now we're out of all that noise. Look at the mountains over there. This is really a gorgeous game, and I just can't wait for there to be more planets. I can't wait for ArcCorp. I can't wait for Microtech, and then of course the other planets. And one of the things I'm very interested in knowing is if next year that they'll do the anniversary sale on Expo and say ArcCorp, or maybe on Microtech. I think it would be awesome if every year they did some kind of expo or convention or something that that was in some of the different cities and places across the verse. I think it would add a lot to the game, and maybe they should look into some other type of conferences, etc. I know right now ships are the big thing, and that's what makes them their money at the moment as far as crowdfunding is concerned, but I think it would be cool if we had similar type of expos, but for the companies that make guns and armor and those types of things. You know, and in those situations, we could probably fit it all into one expo hall, and that would be fine. Let it run for a couple of days. Do raffles. That would be really good. I'd love to see a raffle for the uh, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo next time. I don't think it will, but it'd be really awesome to go in there and be able to enter your name into a drawing, and then at the end of each day or the end of the whole thing, some people won ships, or in the case of the weapons and armor, some people won pieces of pieces of armor or weapon, etc. Um, really make it truly interactive so that there's just more going on. I think it adds to the living, breathing element of the universe that they espouse. Um, this is just amazing. Looking at those mountains out there, this reminds me of a photo I saw of Monterrey, Mexico. There's those mountains that are interlaced within the city and off to the I believe it's to the west, but it has that kind of desert feel, obviously with the cactus and everything on the planet. But let's see where we are right now. We're near a restricted area. We're only 10,700. I think meters is what we're looking at here. I'm not sure, but I'm going to see about implementing a trick here, and it's not working. I was thinking about putting my cell phone onto the oh my goodness, I didn't even let go of the landing gear. I hadn't put the landing gear up. Doesn't look like it to be slowing
Landing gear up.
my ascent any, but that's clearly not a good thing. So let's go ahead and throttle up. Look at that. There's the sun coming up. Wow. Look at that. We're high enough above the surface of the planet, even though look how big the downtown Hurston building is, that we can start to see the sunrise. That is a beautiful picture, guys. That is absolutely gorgeous. This game is amazing. Alright. So let's keep flying up. Let's go back to the cockpit. Let's see, let's put some afterburners on it. I've heard that pointing upwards now will go 45 degrees. I have no idea if that's the optimum angle. I'll need to do some research, which this is what makes this game absolutely awesome, is that that kind of research is something that you need to do to make effective use of your fuel. And down the line, I think that's going to have an effect on how well people actually play the game, or how effective they are in the game. Let's keep it going. We're trying to get it up. We're not going fast. She is slow to get up to speed. Ooh. I mean, we're moving, but afterburner's going. We're going 136 meters a second. 23,000, and we're looking for 100,000 as I believe the number to get out. So we're still going. I think if I get out of the ship, it's actually going to stop the ship. Otherwise, I'd get out and let it keep going. But I don't know. We'll have to see once we get out. I'd much rather test that theory once I'm out of the atmosphere, so that I don't go running around the ship and find out that I was wrong. Looks like we're starting to steadily gain speed. So that's good. We'll go ahead. Oh no, don't hit the space bar. Oh, we're just now leaving the Armistice Zone over Lorville. Well, if you hit the space bar to go up, it slows you down, and that does make sense, and my mistake. But then back to what I was talking about. I mean, adding those types of elements into the game, I think, is be what differentiates this game from what I consider your cookie cutter MMOs. And obviously, um, I think most people could see that this is not going to be a cookie cutter MMO. I kind of I feel like the game is going to be very analogous in spirit to some extent. I might catch some flack for this, but in spirit to like Second Life, in the sense that people are going to be able to buy land. I think it's going to be very much in spirit. I actually view it personally, and I think people may disagree with this too, but that's okay. You know, opinions are fine. But I think this is also a spiritual successor to EVE Online, and I think we're taking the best of both of those worlds and bringing them together. So in the future, I see this game being so much more than just a spreadsheet simulator or just a place where you go do raids and all that kind of stuff like you see in a lot of other MMOs. This is going to actually be a living, breathing universe that people, to some extent, work in. And it's my hope that we'll be able to, mine ore, refine it, um, create our own spaceships. And that's one of the things I know you could do in EVE Online is if you had the blueprints, you could construct the spaceships. And I think it would be absolutely awesome if that ability was here. And I think it would behoove, or at least it'd be something interesting in exploring, creating a CIG controlled storefront for players to sell ships that they release blueprints for that can be created. I think that would be a really good idea, and I think at some point they need to, and this will be down the line when the game is further along, but I think they should seed the game with those blueprints and also allow them to be purchased. And I think that's a good money-making move. Sell the blueprint, so maybe a blueprint for a basic Aurora, instead of it being a $35, $45, $55 deal, that might cost you $300. And you're like, well, why would it cost $300? Well, because a person will be able to actually construct these ships and sell them. And I think that would be a really good impetus for people to thrive in this economy, is to allow them to potentially make real money. And I know a lot of people, well, it's a game. Yeah, it's a game. But at the same time, it's much more than just a game. It's much more than World of Warcraft. And in World of Warcraft, you could gold farm. And I know I think it was against the TOS, but people did it. But in the sense that it gets people in the game, they're actively functioning, they're creating ships and stuff like that, and I think it should fluctuate like that. The economy should fluctuate in that sense, and allow them to value these things. CIG could take a small profit off of it, for example, kind of like people do in the App Store. You want to sell some ships, put it like this, they get a 30% cut of it. And I'm not saying these are the greatest ideas in the sense of how to manage it, but put upper and lower limits on potentially the what you can sell a particular ship for. And I say this to be like after CIG has decided to stop selling them ships. And I know I've heard, through players and things that I've read, it's anecdotal. I don't think there's been an official statement. There may have that CIG is eventually going to stop selling the current ships online, and then they'll move to selling UEC as well as selling concept ships. So once they go to that, I think it's fair to allow the players, to set up a war bond or something for ship blueprints. And if you want to put a run on those blueprints, a particular blueprint can only be ran 10 times, for example. And make it a very involved process to get all those ores together and do all this, and allow them to build it and sell it if they want to. Sell it in the in-game universe for UEC, fine, fair enough, put it in there, or put it up on a storefront within CIG's control. Try to keep it out of the the eBay sector, but I think that'd be fantastic. Or maybe not. If you're watching this and you have an opinion, put it in the comment below, and I'd be glad to hear what your opinion is on this. But I think that would be a fantastic addition to the game down the line. Obviously, this isn't something that's going to be feasible right now, but in 3 or 4 years, I think that's a really good idea, especially considering the amount of money that a lot of people have put into a lot of these corporations and stuff. And I'll be honest, one of the things I want to do, and the reason I'm very interested in this Drake, now that I can fly it and I have an opportunity to purchase it, is I want to use it for industry myself. I don't want to be a gunslinger, if you will. I want to actually build things. I want to go out and mine and build it. All right, there we have it, guys. We're in space now, so let's go ahead and get some speed, get the afterburners up for whatever reason. I don't know. We're just gonna speed it all up, and let's think about where we can go. Could do a warp too. Wow, this thing goes pretty quick. I mean, yes, the afterburners are on, but 607, almost 700 meters a second. We're moving along. There's 700. Interesting. All right, let's take a look here. Is there anywhere specific we would like to go? Let's see. There's moons. I suppose we could fly to this. Do we want to fly to that moon? There's Crusader. I guess for the time being, we could just take a look at this moon and just get in orbit around it. Oops. And kind of take a look at the ship. See what it looks like again inside. I know we looked at it earlier, but I'd like to just do another run through. Alright, so let's move our behemoth here. Oh, it's way over here. So there is where we're going. One of two. Oh, I see what's going on. I have to go through this waypoint because I guess it's on the other side of the planet from where I'm at. That makes sense. I don't know. I feel like calibration takes a little longer than it should. I get that there's a bit of a delay, but my goodness. Sometimes it takes what feels like an eternity. Alright, so, and sometimes you have to spool after you calibrate, and other times
Quantum drive is now
they
on.
happen at the same time. So I feel like there's some inconsistency there, and quantum drive is working. And I need to look at the roadmap and do some research.
Quantum drive is now off.
And they may be doing some work. Okay. It said one of two. And there's the other one. I believe this is Magda. Yes, Magda. And this system doesn't always seem to align. Like, and I guess that has something to do with where I'm sitting in relation to the ship. How does my gun sound? We have good guns. Oops, fired chaff. Alright, and now we'll spool. And now we'll
Quantum drive is now on.
quantum drive. This is really loud in my ears, so. What is that? Alright, so here
Quantum
we are.
drive is now off.
Ooh. Alright, whoa. Whoa, what's going on here? Why am I moving? Okay. Is it gonna movie there and stop? Okay. Interesting. I don't know why that did that. I'm sure there's a reason. I need to find out. Ooh. Kind of bulky. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop out of here and take another walk through. Now that we're in space, I think this is a better opportunity just to kind of see what it's like when it's out in the field, per se. So I need to look at the specifications. I don't know. Let's make sure I've got a helmet on. I do, so I should be good. Alright. I don't know what the specifications are as far as SCU. I think it's quite a bit. Let's go out here on the cow. Oh, that's nice. You know, I didn't even think about that. But when you're in here and it's flying, this is all closed up. No. Well, I'm going down the ladder. So that makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about that. So as of right now, there's atmosphere, so we're not depressurized. But I really love the fact that all of these bays, and they're sealed off from one another. So I guess if maybe depending on how it is damaged, maybe some of it can blow off in other parts. No, actually, I think it makes sense from an airlock perspective. If I open up this back one, for example, I'm not depressurizing the entire hold. And that makes perfect sense. That's actually a great deal. The only thing I noticed about this last one is there's no ladder up, which that's okay because it goes out the back end. But wow, this is cool. I really am digging this. This is one of the more well thought out ships, I think. I had pondered upgrading my Phoenix to a 600i, but after talking to my, I guess you could say, org mates, I need to actually form an official organization, but the people that I play with, they were like, you know, don't do it. It's cheaper to run the Phoenix, and it's smaller, obviously. It's rarer right now, but also the space is very well utilized, except for maybe the toilet, but that's another story. This is a big ship, and it seems to be very well laid out. This is really cool. Again, I am so hoping that some of these TV screens will actually play news footage from the game. And one of the things I was talking to one of my in-game buddies about was that I would love that once we're completed with the development, that the subscription money go towards paying the actors to use VoIP to actually do in-game news updates. That would be awesome. Maybe that's asking way too much, but I would gladly keep my subscription going if I knew it was funding something like that. Now, I'm not thinking about turning my subscription off right now, but as time goes on and it becomes less of a development effort and more of a, you know, just keeping things going. Can you do anything with this right now? No, we can't. Engineer station, but that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, okay, turn it off, whatever. Here are the engines. I think these are engines. Pretty sure they are. This is a, looks like it's a V8 baby right there. Drake Interplanetary Intergalactic V8s. And it's dual, so it's really 16. This is a Bugatti baby. Here's the turret. Let's go ahead. Wait, is this a turret? Maybe I was mistaken. This wasn't a turret. Maybe this is, enter lower turret. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's get down here and see what this looks like. All right, that's cool. it doesn't seem to function. That's a good view. Look at that moon. Really good view. Oh, I'm a fool. Power on. All right, there we go. Oh, sweet. Joystick access. It's a very slow rate of fire. It's still pretty slick. Let's see what else we've got down here. So obviously, power off, switch to gyro mode, exit, switch fire mode. I don't know what that means. Does this make any sense? Oh, it does. So you get half the DPS, but quicker fire. Switch to gyro mode. Interesting. Love it. That's cool. Power off. Let's go ahead and exit this. If you didn't know, the engineering access. I like how they labeled it for. Oh. Interesting. They labeled it so that you would know that coming out of the only entrance, which was the turret. Anyway, moving forward, let's go back up here. Right here, tractor beam. Wow. This actually seems to double as an observation deck. Very, very cool. Obviously, I don't think the tractor beam works, but let's yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing. Oh, maybe it does. Oh boy. Okay. No. But that's cool. You can still put someone here to monitor things. So that's probably what I needed to do on the other control pad. Oh. Let's go to the menu. Oh, there's people. Heat, power, weapons, shields. Guns. They're off. Okay. Guns not available. Wow, this... quit moving, guy. No missiles. Let's go back to power. Alright. Power off this console. Or maybe... I don't know. Alright, we'll power this off. And now we'll exit. So the tractor beam hasn't been implemented yet, which, you know, doesn't surprise me at the moment, but wow, there's Hurston. Look at that. I didn't notice that a minute ago. That is freaking awesome. It's very very awesome view. I'm really digging this ship. I can just see so much. Even right now, using it as just a cargo carrying platform. I guess, I mean, none of the mist ships are available right now, and that's the thing, so, I mean, the whole system, but this has so much more capability. We've already been through there. So much more to it than that. Here's the power plant. It's a pretty amazing ship. Pretty stoked about it. Well, I think that's all I want to discuss right now. Like I said, this was more of me just exploring this ship and rambling than anything. If you're watching this, I hope you found it entertaining. If you didn't, that's okay as well. No worries. I do appreciate the taking a peek. Oh, look here. These back stations here. If I power these on, these are probably going to be very similar to... Well, that one didn't come on, so I'm going to suspect that won't either. But at least someone can sit there. Enter support seat. Interesting. Alright guys, well, like I said, appreciate you watching the video. If you found any of my musings of interest, let me know. If you thought they were all terrible, let me know. And once again, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.